There are three things that affect a human spirit. There are three principles, three things that affect you, that affect how you turn out, that affect your life, that affect your future, that affect the impact of your life. Number one, I'll mention those three things. One, principles. Two, relationships. And three, action. You can write that down. Principles, relationships, and actions. That means you are who you are today because of these three things. You are who you are today because of the principles that you adhere to, the relationships that you maintain, and the actions that you take. If you want to change your life today, this is the same way you change it. Principles, relationships, and actions. Principles, relationships, and actions. Now, Pastor gave this definition of principles, so I want to give it to you. A principle is a rule, belief, or assumptions that control, influences, or explains personal conduct or the behavior of a society. I'll take that again. A principle is a moral rule, belief, or assumption that controls, influences, or explains personal conduct or the general or collective behavior of a society. That means the way you act is controlled by a principle. It's controlled by a belief structure, a belief system. A society is also controlled by principles. A society is controlled by principles. Pastor said, it explains how and why something works or happens the way it does. It explains how or why something works or happens the way it does. It's a basic theory or truth, an idea that forms the basis of anything. An idea that forms the basis of anything. So you are regulated by principles. Now, you can have a personal principle and you can also have a collective principle. For example, there are people who have, they have, maybe by reason of an experience or by their own deduction, have certain principles. You know, they have certain principles, and these principles may be right or wrong. You know, right or wrong. And now when we say right or wrong, we are looking at it in comparison to the main principle, because the Word of God is a principle. It's a principle to live by. But there are people who draw their principles from experience. They draw it from human experience. Some draw it from what their father told them, what their mother told them, what the collective principle that regulate the society tells them. You know, let me give you an example. You can wake up in the morning on Sunday morning and you're going to church. But while you're going to church, there are certain people who by principle, Sunday morning is for rest. You know, by principle, Sunday morning is for rest. So they are sleeping. Some other people, Sunday morning is for recreation. They come out and they are playing football. So you tell them, I want to invite you for a service. It's holding Sunday morning. They say, I'm not available. That time is really a busy time. But busy doing what? You know, busy doing what? He said, that's the only time I have to rest. He has created a principle that his time to rest is Sunday morning. Now, there is nothing wrong, only that by principle, God also created a time. God also created a time for you to be in church. And the issue is that your principle and God's principle, they are clashing right now. You know, they're clashing right now. So you can have personal principle